my fellow Americans. Welcome to another rant. I was just looking at some posts about Black Lives Matter and how black people are being killed, in droves by police. And yet, when you look at it, 93% of all violent gun deaths of black males or black people in general in the United States are committed by other black people. Only 7% of all the people that are killed are done by police officers. And that even that is not a big deal, because when you look at the statistics, black people get killed less frequently than other races. Like white people, for instance. More white people are killed by cops every year than black people, which is really fantastic considering that black people make up more than 50% of all the violent crime in the United States. Which is really weird when you look at the fact that only 7% of the population are black males. In America, anyway. Which brings us to another problem, that America has 25% of the total prison population of the entire world. That means out of all the people in prison in the entire world, 1 out of 4 people is an American. And yet, we only make up 5% of the population of the entire world. How is that possible? The same thing when you look at the prison population, 50% of the people that are in prison in America are black males. That's way out of proportion. Just like the number of people in prison in the United States is way out of proportion. 90% of those people in prison in America are in prison for non-violent drug crimes. So let's look at that for a second. Obviously, the war on drugs is a failure, because when you look at the statistics, we spend $39 billion every year to keep people in prison. That's American tax dollars going to waste. That doesn't even count how much money they spend on enforcement, etc., etc., etc. That's just to keep people in prison. Those are just the prison costs of the war on drugs. Think about it. Alcohol abuse cost the United States taxpayer $223.5 billion back in 2006. I really doubt those stats are much better now. Cigarette smoking costs the American taxpayers over $170 billion annually. Those numbers are way, way above what drugs are costing us. And yet those substances are legal. You're always going to have a certain number of people in the population that want to destroy their lives with either drugs, alcohol, or tobacco. That's not going to change. Making it illegal just puts more stress on the system as it is. As it is, 88,000 people died in the year 2014 from alcohol-related incidents, making alcohol the 4th leading preventable cause of death in the United States. But there, you ain't heard nothing yet. Cigarettes, tobacco, legal cigarettes and tobacco kills 480,000 people in the United States every year, which is close to 1,300 people a day. a day. You know how many drug-related deaths we have every year? About 44,000. That's half of the people that die from alcohol every year. And that's only 10% of the people who die from tobacco every year. The statistics are crazy. And yet, we have a war on drugs. Think about it. If you legalize drugs, or even just decriminalize drugs, you eliminate $39 billion that we spend every year fighting the war on drugs, or just housing those people in prison. That doesn't even count what we spend in law enforcement, etc., 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 trying to stop this drug trade. You want to stop the drug trade? Make it legal. Make it not cool anymore. It's not edgy. We're not going to smuggle drugs in. We're not going to grow shit in our backyard. We're not going to have meth labs in our garages. You can go down to the local drugstore and buy it. Just like a beer or a pack of cigarettes or anything else. That's not cool. It's not underground. You won't have all this criminal activity. People breaking into things, doing whatever, because we'll lower the deaths, because once it's not cool, it's been proven in statistics, whether it's either decriminalized or legalized, the actual number of people using drugs and drug abuse goes down. Proven fact. Now, we lower the usage, we lower the crime, we lower the cost because we're not putting all those people in prison anymore. Now people are getting pharmaceutical grade stuff that's not cooked in somebody's bathtub or in a barrel in a trailer park or some other place in the freaking jungles of South America or whatever. Who knows what's in that stuff? Rat poison, etc., etc. They're getting pharmaceutical grade stuff that is taxed, that is regulated, that is pure, that has a warning label on it, that has a recommended safe dosage on it, and can come with education. Because you're going to have a certain number of people that use that crap anyway. If it's legal and we educate people, look at how much we've done for smoking and other things with education. If you legalize it, we can tax it. We save $39 billion in prison costs alone that can go towards education, can go towards making it safe, can go towards making our neighborhoods safe from all the crime that is committed in the name of drugs, illegal drugs. And illegal drugs are this much of our substance abuse problem. We've got this big of a problem, and we're focusing on this much. And that is making up 90% of our prison population, which is the highest prison population in the entire world, when we only have 5% of the entire population. We have been lied to. We have been used by the government. They are doing it to break up families, to criminalize people and take away their rights, like voting, owning a weapon. Once you go to prison and do your time, you should not be punished for the rest of your life by having your rights taken away. If you have paid your dues, paid your debt to society, when you get out of prison, you're a human being, free and clear. You paid your dues. You paid your debt to society. You should still have the right to vote. You should still have the right. These are God-given rights. The federal government cannot give them or take them away or limit them or tax them or anything else. And this needs to stop. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds out there. But it's the gradual indoctrination of the lies that we've been fed by our own government and the forces that be, the lobbyists, etc., it's just like the frog in the pan of water. You slowly turn the fire up on. And gradually, the frog doesn't notice until it's too late and he's cooked. Thank you. God bless.